were actually
Oh,
normal
you know I watch.
compared to
I be
other
paying
people.
attention. Yeah.
Are you paying attention? I
Wait,
figures and that's your normal world. Do you have any what do men who
you
make
said I'm
that amount of money tend
around
to
a lot
look
of
for?
successful men,
Yeah, I mean a lot of
and
your
I'm not.
friends are
What the hell you talking about?
successful. That's why you I mean
Talk
this is
to
okay,
me.
I'm saying your
Take
world.
seven. Take
Okay,
7
I'll ask you
seconds.
from your
Take 7
I'll talk
seconds.
about you. Okay, how about
Take
huh?
7 seconds, Kendra.
I can't stand his ass. All right, let
All
me
right,
just
let's go.
ask
I can get serious. Let
from
me get
your
serious.
perspective. What okay, from your perspective, what do you think most men are looking for in women like yourself that make your type of money? Wait 7 seconds.
You said
You said
7. You said 7 seconds. I don't look. I can't speak for all men. You know, we all are different. The more successful we get, our needs change. I don't want to sound like Gil, because Gil, you asked Gil one question and it went off into 18 different subjects. We was pulling for Gil. We was like, yeah, okay. He got the radio voice. He got he a God fearing traditional man. And then that nigga said, he said, well, I'm kind of seeing somebody who's a friend. I'm seeing somebody, but she don't want me like that. And then so look, I'm gonna pay for everything. But if you step away from it, if you step away from it, wait 7 seconds. Me and her might be together, or we might not be. I don't know. It depends on.
If you want to invest in his company
You can
too,
invest in this.
you can invest in
Hey
his
man,
company. If
and
you
then
got
and then the girl before him that had the studio, she had all her shit in the back. I said, baby girl, before you get a man, you're not gonna have no room for a man because your house is cluttered. Clean up your space.
let's talk about this because I think this is the overall rule. I think you have to have a clean house before you date. And I have like a friend. I had to tell her this. Like, I think you're an amazing woman, but your house is messy, and you have to clean your house before you open up for a man. Because if a man comes into your house and sees
Your
it, they're
house is a
instantly turned on.
reflection of you, your mental state, and your body, your hygiene, how organized it is, how it smells. I don't hear nobody saying that. Your house, huh, is a reflection of ye. Boy, y'all don't want me to preach up here on a Saturday. Watch out. Watch out. How you keep your crib is how you keep your mind and your body.
Mm. What about kids? Do men mind about kids?
Men don't mind kids if the baby father scenario isn't a toxic, turbulent one, right?
Okay.
Depending on how settled the woman is and how mature and mentally healthy she is, because there's some crazy baby moms out here too. So it just depends on the balance. How balanced is that person? You know what I mean?
Mm. Do successful men care about the woman's income? Because I have a lot of women, and rightfully so, they want their equal financially more so than anything. And if you say anything less than, they consider it to be settling. So if a woman makes 150K, and all the rich women watch my show, they want a man that makes 150K or more. And I
Yeah.
understand that request logically. But is that man that makes 150K, is her salary
Nah. Those of us that
important?
make that or more, uh, it's it's not a requirement at all. Most men, and I say that we got to define that, right? Because there's different generations of men now, right? Most men in my generation were traditionalists. I grew up with a father who took care of everything, and your money is just icing on the cake, and for you to do what you want to do with it. It's not a requirement. I'm not going half on a house. I
Oh,
mean,
so
that's
you're
just
gonna
how
pay
I
for
move.
the house.
I can't speak for everybody else. You know what I mean? But
Right,
typically,
right,
no. To
right.
answer your
Okay.
question,
Okay.
most successful men don't care about what a woman makes. They don't. If
Hmm.
you're a traditional man, you
They don't. What do they care
Men
about
care
then?
about
Then
peace.
what do they care about?
Peace and
Peace.
how you keep my, you know, the loyalty factor, and how you keep my business out of the street. You know what I mean? Are you too talkative, or are you too combative? Can you let me lead? You know what I mean? Can you trust me? And it's not about a flex. It's not about, well, I'm the successful man and I make more money than you, so you need to follow everything I'm saying. It's just about, let's just be two human beings in this scenario, right? Can you bring me peace? Can we communicate like adults? Are we both healed? Have we both gone to therapy individually and healed ourselves so that we can come together as a unit, and just be human beings for each other? And however we define the roles between us, like for example, there may be, you know who Joyce Meyer is, right?
I
Evangelist, yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
She's a
Her
reverend, right?
husband
Yeah.
took the back seat to her when she started blowing up and doing her thing, because he saw the vision of where she was going. So he was like, all right, I'll run the organization, but I'll take the back seat. So there's some scenarios where most men don't have the ego. If our woman is making money, more successful than us, and she's making more money than us, we know how to sit back on that. As long as she's not flexing on us and reminding us how much she make all the time, right? But if it's a healthy woman, and we're here for the love and we're here for each other, it doesn't matter if she makes more. But for those of us men that make more, or we're successful, we are not counting your pockets. Like, we really just look for that connection and that loyalty and that friendship with the woman.
So how does a woman, because I do get this, so something I hear a lot from Black men is that Black women have attitude problems. Now, I have to say this. I understand why, as a Black woman, that sometimes they're upset because the man might do something to genuinely make them upset. But I have also been taught from a lot of my friends who are married, they're like, you have to learn how to control your emotions, even when rightfully
Right.
so, you have the right to be upset about something. So how I don't understand that math, because on one instant, it is the one thing I'm hearing a lot from Black men is just Black women are not friendly. But then as a Black woman, I understand why sometimes they're not friendly. So what is
The
that
answer
answer?
is, you can generalize anything. So I don't agree to that. I love Black women too much to make that a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
it's an individual thing. I understand as a culture we have all been uh oppressed in different ways, and disadvantaged in a lot of ways, but a lot can be said about Black men. All Black men are violent, all Black men are angry. That's all generalizations, right? We're not all the same. um so I love Black women too much to make that a mantra of mine, to be like, they all too angry. If one happens to be angry, I can name 5 that are peaceful and jovial and have a strong, you know what I mean, spiritual base, healthy mindset. So that's not a thing. What's up, Auntie Melba?
Okay. Also, real quick, I wanted to give Joyce Meyer a
Yeah.
Black example is Sarah Jakes. Sarah Jakes obviously
So Ray,
she's
yeah.
a preacher. Her husband's also a preacher, and he preaches too. But obviously, he supports her a lot, and she's like, she kind of
Well,
just
she's
kind of took
heiress
off,
to
and
the
he's definitely very
Jakes
supportive.
franchise. Yeah, for sure.
Right, right. Let me ask you this, and I'm asking you all these questions. I know you're normally the funny guy. Do you think a lot of your friends still want to get married, or is marriage not necessarily the goal for
I
successful
don't think
men
marriage
as
in the
such?
traditional definition of it. I think that's our landscape is changing, right? People's values are changing, people's lifestyles are changing. But I do think everyone is looking for some type of companionship, right? I think it has to be individual as to how you define that for yourself. And that's just unfortunately where we are. There's no cookie cutter template for everybody's life anymore. But I will say that most of the homies that I know are looking for a partner, a mate, a best friend, for sure.
For sure. They want me to
Why am
ask you, why are you
I
not
not married? I
married?
haven't met my wife yet.
What type
We're
of
not doing
qualities
this today.
would you look
We're
for
not
in a
doing this
wife?
today. Nope. Oh, they
gonna
can
DM you. They're gonna
DM me, but I
DM
ain't
you
about to have
after
this
this.
conversation in full public. I've done it on a couple podcasts, but yeah, I don't want to. I didn't come on here for this. I came on.
I know you did. I know you did, and I appreciate you coming on and bringing your energy to this platform. That's why, and I appreciate all that you said. It was a good combo because I'm
Yeah,
used to
for
always
sure.
having funny combos with you, and I felt we got some good educational. But one last thing, because this is true, I'm always asking men to say things for women. But do you have any advice
As
for
far as
men?
what?
Just anything. Like, I feel like that was a good point. Somebody said there's no advice to men. And I do think that we're always having men and women talk about ways women can do things better in that sector. Is there anything that you
Oh,
can say
100%.
that men
Men
can
need
do
to
better?
learn how to be men. Men need to really, like, if you don't have a man or a male example in your life, an older male, do your research on, like, research chivalry for one, for example, right? And this ain't simp. There's a lot of niggas will be like, "Oh, are you simping?" No, no, no. This is just how I am, right? I'm protective. I saw my dad do it. My dad is an army guy, right? So he protected my mom. He protected his family. So I'm a protector by nature. There was a video, I think Kev on stage posted it, or to hear, about a man and a woman on a date. And us men, most of us who are who are traditional, we're on the date like a mercenary. We checking the whole room out. We checking the door. We seeing who might look suspicious. While the woman is just like ding, 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 ding. You know what I mean? Not thinking about it. So I would say for most men, like, really understand what it is to be a man, and what that means, how to responsibly be a man for a woman. You can't get involved or get into a relationship and then not know how to go earn, not know how to provide for the whole household. My thing is, if you can't provide for the whole house, you shouldn't get a house. Like, it could be a dual income household, but the onus should fall on the man's shoulders, and your money is supplemental. If you choose to use your money, great. But I'm not saying the only way we can buy this house is if we go in half. We go in together. You know what I mean? And beyond the financial part, open the door for a lady. Communicate. Learn how to communicate. Most men aren't communicators. We just haven't been taught that. Our dads and our grandfathers, they used to do the shut down mode. They'd come home from work, and as long as there was food on the table and the lights was on, they thought that communicated "I love you." So they weren't taught to communicate. They was taught to bury all of their demons and all of their past pains. And we're in a generation now where everybody's talking. Everybody has a podcast. Everybody has an album. Everybody has a this or that. We got to start talking. So communication is key. Healthy communication.
I want to say this to you because you're part of the 1%, as in six. I mean, you're part of the 1% in a lot of ways. You're a celebrity. Like, your regular life, and this is what I had to realize, your regular life is not a normal life, right? You 1% income, 1%, celebrity lifestyle, and all of that. So there's some men, and I feel for these men who just don't have the income to provide completely for a family,
Right.
but still do want a family, right? So are those men, I don't think you're even saying this about them, right? But I think what happens is you are in a financial situation where you can't hold down a household. What about the guy who has an honest living, might make 40K a year, but his woman's income would help in them
It's
living
not
a
a
certain
bad thing
way? Is
if
that a bad thing?
the two of them are communicating and that works for them. Like I said earlier, there's no cookie cutter method for anyone, right? I'm just talking about the principles of manhood.
Okay.
You should be able to put yourself in a position to where you can take care of everything, right? If you can't, there's no knock on that. You don't have to have a house right now. There's some nice apartments out there, and you can afford those until you save your bread and make enough for a house, for a down payment. You know what I mean? Um, what I'm saying is, you
Right.
asked me for advice to males. I'm saying most men
Right.
need to learn how to earn and how to be men, independent of trying to find a mate. Just for yourself, know how to get out there and get it. I hear too many people lazy, make excuses for why they can't get a project done or why they can't do X, Y, Z. And I'm like, there's no excuse, especially with these phones we have now. There's information in our palm every day. If you waste your time on all the apps and the TikToks and the this and that, and you're not using the phone for good, if you're in a situation where you're talking about you need something done, you're wasting your time. If you're doing that, then what are you doing? You don't really want it. So that's all I'm saying. I hope I'm making sense. I don't want to sound like Gil.
You are making sense. Listen, listen. I'm very grateful. I don't take anything for granted. I'm very grateful for your time. I'm very grateful for your wisdom. I'm very grateful for all that you had to offer. And I felt like, and shout out to the person whoever said it about asking you for male advice, because I feel like you gave female tidbits, male tidbits. So I'm thankful.
I was about to say,
I'm in
welcome
LA,
to
so
LA.
we gotta kick it.
And every time we've seen each other, it's always been cordial and great, and your energy's always been dope. And I'm so happy for your success and everything that you're doing. So yeah, let's break bread in LA, and yeah, everybody asking.
Definitely. If you don't know, like, they should know you, but you're just one of those super talented people. Like, not everybody has been gifted with the type of talent you've been born with. And you're also a good human being. So he didn't want me to ask him the questions directly, but ladies, still DM him. You never know. Like, he won't let me do it. But still DM API and see if you got a shot. Can you just give us 5 things that are requirements?
No, I'm not gonna do that. But they have been asking. Look, they have been asking if I'm single. Yes, I'm single, but I am dating. Like I'm not like these men that's like, yeah, I'm single. I just be at the crib by myself and I just be chilling. No, I'm actively dating and getting to know, and I know some really dope women out here, but I'm single and I'm focused.
I would say I don't think single for most, I mean, most men, and it could mean the same for women, doesn't mean lonely. What it means is you haven't decided to just lock down with one person, but that doesn't always mean lonely. Like Bernice Burgos, who's like one of the most beautiful people on this planet, people always say she's single.
Right.
I'm like, she ain't lonely.
Right.
She on a different country every
what it
other
is?
month. I don't think she's
Kendra,
lonely.
it's about
So,
alignment. To find somebody that is aligned with everything
Yes.
that you need and want, that's kind of tough. But that's not to say that there's not people like that you can't travel with or go to the movies with. There's certain people that have a different aspect to their personality that works for you, that you can hang out with. So everybody's not your mate,
Right.
but that doesn't mean you can't have friends and go out on dates and have a great time.
And that's what it is. All right,
All right,
listen,
salute.
I love you. We'll because I'm doing a YouTube show tonight and I gotta go to YouTube. But I felt like that was worthy. That was worthy to get that information for what AP had to say. I think he had a lot of great information to give for men and women to take away from. One person, I do want to say this real quick. Someone said, Kendra always talk about celebrities. It's not that I'm always talking about celebrities. API is a celebrity. And the reason I wanted to just be honest with his perspective is what I've come to terms is a lot of people who I talk to, their life is not relatable to the average person. There's nothing wrong being average either, okay? I'm just talking about my real worlds and the people I be having conversations with. And I feel like that at times is the disconnect, because what happens is we have people, let me just not use the word average because no one likes the word average. But let's say we use people who are not celebrities, and then sometimes we hold them to standards of celebrities. And that's just not fair, right? So that's why I was distinguishing his real life, which is his real life, which is for him, his real life. I have come to terms it's not the average life. So that's why I was saying that. I was just making that that difference, okay? And whoever said that, kiss my ass. And I want to say more cuss words, but tomorrow's Sunday, and I try to be a Christian Sunday through Wednesday. So I'll just